Have you ever wondered how a tiny country can manage literally trillions of dollars from all over the world? I mean, how do they keep all of that money safe? Well, today, we're going to dive into a really important piece of financial regulation from Luxembourg that's designed to do exactly that. It's called CSSF Circular 25/900, and trust me, it's a huge deal for the entire global investment fund industry. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll set the scene and talk about why Luxembourg is such a massive fund hub. Then we'll meet the key players running the show. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the new rules and expose the big risks they're trying to prevent. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by showing you why this actually matters to all of us.
All right, first things first. To really get why this new rule is so important, you have to appreciate the sheer size of the world it operates in. We are talking about a true global financial powerhouse.
And look, this isn't just another financial center we're talking about. It's one of the largest on the entire planet. When you're managing that much money from that many places, you absolutely need a rock-solid, incredibly efficient system just to keep the whole thing from grinding to a halt.
So that brings up the big question, right? Who is actually behind the curtain, pulling the levers for thousands upon thousands of funds and managing trillions of euros? Well, the answer leads us straight to a key player in this whole ecosystem. Let's meet the operational heart of the fund industry, the very entity that this new regulation is all about, the UCI administrator.
Okay, so you're going to see this acronym UCI all over the place. Don't let it throw you. It's just the official technical term for any kind of investment fund. Think mutual funds, hedge funds, you name it.
And a UCI administrator? Well, they're the engine room for that fund. The best way to think about them is like the air traffic control for your investments. They are guiding this constant, complex flow of money, data, and communication, making sure everything lands where it's supposed to.
So what do they actually do all day? Well, their job really boils down to three core jobs. First, they keep a detailed list of every single person invested in the fund. Second, they're the ones who calculate the fund's price every single day. That's the net asset value, or NAV. And third, they handle all the communication with investors. It's a huge job.
Okay, now let's get to the main event, the new rulebook. This is where Luxembourg's financial watchdog, the CSSF, is really stepping up and raising the bar for everyone. This is it, Circular 25/900. The whole goal here is to set a new gold standard for how these companies are run. It's not about tearing up the old rules, but more about making sure the system is ready for the challenges of the modern financial world. It's about being future-proof.
And what's really interesting is how much it focuses on people and processes. It's not just about computers and code. The circular demands that these firms have enough qualified staff and something called the 4 eyes principle, which basically means you need a co-pilot for every critical decision. No one's flying solo. Plus, they need a clear plan for everything, from taking on new clients to handling complaints.
And then, here's the other side of that coin, technology. Administrators have to have top-notch IT systems, basically Fort Knox-level security, and a bulletproof plan for when things go wrong. Because in the world of finance, there is no off switch. They have to have secure, continuous access to their data, 24/7, no excuses.
So why all these demanding new rules? What's the big deal? Well, they are designed to fight a very specific, very real threat that's been lurking in the shadows of the financial industry.
And the regulator is not subtle about this at all. They say it right here. Their single biggest fear is that an administrator stops being one in substance and instead becomes a letterbox entity.
So what in the world is a letterbox entity? Well, imagine a company that's really just a name on a door and a mailbox. It might have a prestigious address, but all the real work, all the important decisions are being outsourced somewhere else. It's a hollowed-out company, an empty shell with nobody really steering the ship.
And when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. On one hand, you have a real, substantial administrator. They have the right people with the right skills, they have direct oversight, and this is key. They keep full responsibility. On the other hand, you've got this letterboxed entity that's just passed the buck on all its core jobs, and in the process has lost all substance, all control, and all accountability.
Okay, let's tie this all together. Why does a complicated-sounding document about fund administrators in Luxembourg actually matter to the rest of us? Well, here's the bottom line. For you, these rules mean stronger protection for your investments. They mean a more stable market overall, and they create a financial system with way more transparency and accountability, a system you can actually trust. It's really about making sure the people who manage our money are held to the absolute highest standards.
So, in a world where money zips across the globe in the blink of an eye, you realize that regulations like these aren't just red tape. They're a shield that protects the integrity of the entire financial system, and I think that's something we can all get behind.